Hello folks, Everchanger here, and welcome back to more Pokemon Yellow. Last time, we began our conquest of the Pokémon Tower here in Lavender Town. In between episodes, I caved and went and healed because I had a feeling we were going to have some issues getting up the rest of the tower if I didn't. Also worth noting, while I was doing that, I actually caught a Ghastly for our Pokedex, and I also bought some more Great Balls, so I figured I'd throw out a mention for that. Anyway, this time we are just going to be continuing our climb up this very tall tower, although we're actually almost about halfway up it, but since the first two floors didn't really have much in regards to trainers, something tells me it'll take us a little while to make it the rest of the way up. But I don't think we'll have too terribly big of an issue, because we have Pikachu here with Thunderbolt, and Thunderbolt definitely produces results, as you can see right there. Right here we have an Awakening, which is going to be a very useless item pretty soon, just warning you. And here we have an HP up, which is also a really good item as well. And right here, yet another trainer. Ghost, no, Qua. The dialogue in Red, Blue, and Yellow is something to be treasured. It's almost hilariously awkward at times because 90s video game translations tended to be that way. 80s translations even more so, but when it came to something like the Game Boy, they had a limited number of characters they could print on the screen at once, so I guess that's the result. The main issue behind that is Japanese, due to its nature as a more syllabic language, I believe is the term for it, they could write more information on the screen at once, so when it comes to translating it into English, they have to convey the same amount of information in effectively less words, which I think is really interesting when you think about it. And Pikachu gets level 29, I definitely appreciate that, and we defeated the Channeler. Where is the ghost? I mean, I don't know where he is. Somewhere. And is there really nothing up here? I guess there is not. That is floor number 4, I believe, all cleared up, which is awesome. Head right up here. We are now on floor 5. Now, I believe there is a hidden item? Yes, there's an elixir hidden right here, believe it or not. Didn't know about that until I went to go check the online list, but yep, there it is. Anyway, I'm going to throw out another repel right there, and I just noticed we have 3 nuggets. I should probably sell some of those, because honestly, they exist for selling. There's no other reason to, like, carry them around. You just sell them, that's all they're for. It's kind of weird. There are a lot of items in more recent Pokemon games that simply exist to be sold. I have to wonder why so darned many of them exist. Honestly, I feel like they could really go for condensing the number of items in Pokemon games, and I'm pretty sure this is something I've talked about on this channel before, but like, there's just so many items in Pokemon games nowadays. I feel like they could do to cut a few. But one thing I did notice recently is, you know how there's every single type there's an item that boosts it? So there's a plate, and then there's also something else, like the black glasses, the miracle seeds, stuff like that. Also, this is worth noting. Come child, I sealed the space with white magic. You can rest here. Step into this spot, and it will fully heal the entire team, which is super convenient. Anyway, we're gonna battle you. But yeah, as I was saying, the fairy type does not have an item like the black glasses or the miracle seed or anything like that. Now, in Pokemon Gold and Silver, there was an item called the pink bow and an item called the polka dot bow, and they both serve to power up normal type moves, and later on in Generation 3, both items were actually replaced with the silk scarf, which means the pink bow and the polka dot bow are now unused pretty much. Like, they haven't been in games since Gold and Silver. And I feel like It's a real missed opportunity to have a really cool Easter egg type thing where they would bring back one of those items to serve as the fairy boosting item, because one of those items doesn't actually exist in the game at the moment. I don't know, it's just one of those little headcanons. I'm like, if I ever got to work at Game Freak, I would make one of those two items the fairy boosting item, just because, I don't know, I'm a big fan of Generation 2, and I feel like fairy type kind of needs quote-unquote feature parity with the other types, because believe it or not, even in Generation 7, Hidden Power also cannot call the fairy type. Really, really weird. That's another thing I would definitely change if I ever got in charge of such matters at Game Freak. I mean, there was someone from Great Britain, I think, that did some design work for Black and White and X and Y, which is really, really cool. I don't know if he did any work on Sun and Moon, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did, because he designed some really cool Pokemon. He designed... Golurk is a big one. Golurk is a really, really great Pokemon. I find it really funny how it can fly even though it's a ground type. And the way they explain that in the anime is nothing short of glorious, let's be completely honest here. Alright, a lot of these channelers only have one Pokemon, so we might get the majority of the way through this area in this episode. We might even finish it this episode, I'm not entirely sure. I'm a little pressed for time, so this episode might be a little bit shorter. But I don't know, we'll just see where the winds take us, as it were. Alright, that's going to hurt a lot. That's going to take us down to 7, but luckily Thunderbolt pulls through. Unfortunately, I think this Ghastly is faster than us, so I think we're probably going to go... Oh wow, he's actually using Confuse Ray. Alright, come on. Get through it. Whenever you ask the game to throw you a bone in terms of RNG, it never, ever happens, let's be completely honest. Alright, well, just gonna throw an Ember at this guy, and he lives. Good. Good. Please don't paralyze me. Okay. One more Ember should definitely do it, and then we can hop back into that Purified Zone, and then we should be able to head right on up the stairs. Charmeleon gets level 31. A lot of the Pokemon on our team are very close to evolving. I think all 3 starters in this generation evolve at level 36? Not positive on that. And where does Pikachu spawn? Oh, right on top of me. Alright. We'll work with it. Alrighty, up until floor 6 here. And I believe this is the floor where we are going to need the Sylph Scope. Now, it's worth noting, you don't actually need the Sylph Scope to beat this area, as I've mentioned before. If you want to do this area without having to do the Team Rocket hideout at all, I recommend you bring a Pokédoll, which is an item that you can buy at shops around the world. It allows you to escape from wild battles, and anyone who's a veteran of this game but doesn't know about the glitch I'm describing can probably see where this is going. But we're going to be entering into the battle in question pretty soon here, so we'll just discuss it in more detail then. Alright. Now, I believe this is episode 31 of this series, which is kind of crazy to me, because the last 2 Let's Plays on this channel, Earthbound Beginnings and Portal, were both very, very short, and I feel like we're only about halfway through this one. Maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, but we're around the halfway-ish point, and I find it really just crazy to me how the last Let's Play I did that was longer than this one was Okami, and that wrapped up like 7 months ago? It's kind of crazy. I'm so used to doing these super long series on this channel, it's kind of weird to me how nowadays they're a little bit on the shorter side, but honestly, I think for now, at least, I prefer stuff to not be 100+ episodes, just because it can get a little bit monotonous going through a series of that length. Like, you guys have no idea how long the post-game of Blaze Black 2 took me. Like, it's crazy. I might have given you guys some specific numbers back then, but I feel like about a third of my playtime for that game accounted for about a fifth of the episodes because of how long the post-game took. Ugh, I am never, ever doing a 100% Pokedex run of anything, ever. Man, if we ever do wind up playing a Generation 6 or Generation 7 game on the channel somehow, I'll probably only try and catch all of the new Pokemon, so the ones that are available after Generation 5, just because I don't think I could do a whole run like that. It would be impossible. Anyway, right here we have an X accuracy, and I believe there's only one more item in this entire area for us to grab. And I believe it's a rare candy. It should be on this floor somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where. But I will definitely be sure to go and get it. I'm probably going to stockpile all my rare candies for the end of the game, because when you get to the end of the game, grinding levels can actually be quite tedious and difficult. And honestly, the rare candy always gives you a level up, no matter what. So if you're on a higher level, a rare candy earns you more free experience than if you use it at a lower level. So that's my logic behind stockpiling them until the end of the game. Sometimes you'll see Let's Players use rare candies pretty much immediately upon getting them, but I don't like to because of the whole experience reason. I feel like people that use rare candies right away are missing the forest for the trees. Like, I'm making my way through this game just fine as it is right now, so I figured I'll wait until the end of the game when I either need the rare candies or I don't need them, but I'm never going to use them otherwise. That's my logic. Alrighty. Now, I think we're going to go back to that white magic spot and heal one more time, just because... Oh, Repel's effect wore off. Just because the, I almost just used that by accident. The Pokemon in this area actually do a decently large amount of damage, as you can pretty plainly tell by the battles I just took part in. Alright, we are healed up, and now... Whoa! Oh god. I think I just found a glitch? What the heck is happening? Okay. This is interesting. I think we found our thumbnail right here. What the heck? This is, interesting. Something tells me this will reset once I leave the floor. And I just used up the entire Repel just wandering around in awe of this glitch. Oh, well, let's move on. Alright, are we fixed? Yes, we are fixed. That was definitely an interesting little experience right there. I have never seen that happen before. In fact, I've never even heard of that happening before. Huh. I mean, I doubt that's anything new, but that's not something I've ever seen before. I don't know, maybe we'll post it on a forum or something being like, hey, has anyone seen this glitch? Because I certainly have not ever seen that glitch. That was definitely interesting. It reminded me of the glitch with Bianca and Reversal Mountain in Black 2 and White 2. That was definitely a fun glitch to play around with. I played around with it in my Let's Play of Blaze Black 2, and man, it was an interesting little experience we had there. Anyhow, Pikachu grows to level 30, and we defeated yet another Chancellor. And this right here, oh wow, do we actually have to pick this up to progress? I think we do. I think we do have to pick that item up to progress. That's interesting. Anyway, right here... Begone, intruders! The ghost appeared, but the Silphscope unveiled the ghost's identity. It is a Marowak. Now, believe it or not, this is not a real quote-unquote Marowak. If you were to attempt to catch this thing with any item whatsoever, it would not work, so don't even try. Marowak is the evolved form of Cubone and is still a ground type. Anyone who's played Sun and Moon, yes, this thing is a ground type in any other game that you're going to play. Anyway, you can actually bypass needing the Silphscope right here if you use a Pokédoll on the Ghost. If you do that, you can actually bypass this fight altogether and progress. I'm pretty sure they removed that exploit in Fire Red and Leaf Green, so I don't think it works in that game. But yeah, pretty interesting. All wild Pokemon in this area appear as ghosts, but I believe the Pokemon used by trainers do not, because since you can't run from them, they don't really... The developers wouldn't want you to soft-lock the game, so as long as you repel all the way up here, and then you use the Pokédoll on this thing, you can bypass doing the Team Rocket hideout in Celadon completely. which I think is really interesting. Anyway, once it has been defeated, we get experience points, and that is that. The ghost was the restless soul of Cubone's mother. The mother's soul was calmed. It departed to the afterlife. Now, I'm pretty sure it hasn't been discussed yet in the game, but basically, Team Rocket is in the building somewhere, and during their invasion, they killed that Marowak and orphaned a Cubone, which is somewhere in town. I don't remember exactly where. Yeah, kind of dark stuff. And believe it or not, they actually... I mean, for Pokemon anime standards, they had a pretty violent representation of that event in Pokemon Origins, which I thought was really interesting. Anyway, progressing right here. Oh, I didn't want to start this boss fight yet. Oh well, I guess we're getting a long episode today. Grandpa here wanted to complain, so we're setting him straight. Surrender yourself invisible or prepare to fight. Yeah, I was gonna do this fight at the start of the next episode, but looking at the clock, I guess we can make this work. Oh, derp, derp, derp on my part. Oh well, I don't think these guys are gonna be too terribly difficult to take out, because honestly, the last 2 times, I believe it is, that we've encountered them, they really haven't been much of an issue either, so we should be okay. I completely forgot that these guys were actually a boss fight here, because in pretty much any other game in which this area appears, you just have to fight 3 Rocket Grunts in a row. At least I think it's 3. So yeah, definitely a change that I honestly should have seen coming, but it's been a long time since I played this game, so I just forgot. Also, wow, that did literally nothing. Honestly, why didn't I do Thunderbolt? It's gonna do normal damage. I don't know why I didn't do that in the first place. Oh well. Alright, one more Thunderbolt should bring down this Arbok. And yeah, Team Rocket's Pokemon have actually evolved from their initial forms, which means next up we have a Weezing coming out, which is fun stuff. So let's Thunderbolt this guy, and hopefully he'll go down pretty quickly. I'm pretty sure this thing's defenses are mostly physical. Yeah, so we should be able to bring him down real quick here. Ooh, unless he brings me down. Ooh, this is going to be a close one. But yeah, Pikachu soloing a Team Rocket fight. This truly is an adaptation of the anime. And wow, we got a 4-digit number of experience points. That's not something that happens very often. And we get level 31, and we defeated Team Rocket. You will regret this. Yeah, sure we will, buddy. Looks like Team Rocket's blasting off again. And off they go. Which means, might as well just do this now, since this is the very last thing we have to do in the tower. Huh? You came to save me? Thank you, but I came here of my own free will. I came to calm the soul of Cubone's mother. I think Marowak's spirit has gone to the afterlife. I must thank you for your kind concern. Follow me to my home, Pokemon House at the foot of this tower. And we are warped to... Oh wow, you actually cannot leave? Oh, well, that was weird. This is the Pokemon House right here. Lavender Volunteer Pokemon House. And I think that is where we are going to stop. So, this past episode of Pokemon Yellow, we finished our conquest of Pokemon Tower, and we had a very interesting movement glitch happen with Pikachu, which is definitely entertaining and something pretty unique. And next time on Pokemon Yellow, we are going to be heading into the Volunteer Pokemon House right here, and we are going to be getting a very, very important item. So without further ado, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.
Gara Gara 骨付きポケモン高さ 1.0 メートル重さ 45.0 キログラム体も小さくもともと弱かった骨を使うようになり性格が凶暴化した